So this is the beginner's guide for the CASIO FX-300ES Plus. It's the second edition. I got this at Walgreens for about $20. Okay, so as a beginner's guide, it doesn't go way deep into all its functions, but it should give you an idea of how to operate the calculator. Okay, so let's do something like 3 plus 4. So 3 plus 4, and you enter, you press equal. There's no enter button. And of course it gives you 7. You can see that the information that you typed is on the top, and on the bottom is where the answer comes out when you press the equal sign. And of course things like 3, parentheses, 4 take away 7, right? Well, that's going to be 3, right, minus 3. That's going to give you what? Minus 9, right? So it's 3 parentheses 4 take away 7. You should close it, equals negative 9. So 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Multiplication, same thing. 5 times negative 6, right? So 5 times negative, right? This negative, not the subtraction. 6 equals negative 30. Okay, and then it does the order of operation. You know, let's say 5 times negative 6 plus 4 times 3, right? And multiplication, you can put a little star instead, I guess. It should do this first, and then this one, right? This is going to be negative 30 plus, what's that, 12, right? And that should give you what, minus 18 or something. I don't know. Let's find out. You don't need to put the parentheses. 5 times negative 6 plus 4 times 3 equals negative 18. So it does the order of operation very nicely. Okay, so let's do something like 5 divided by 8. Okay, so 5 divided by 8 equals, and that gives you an answer of 5 over 8. And it doesn't give you a decimal version. Let's see, I think it's under shift mode, let's say, and then you press 1, and then you want number 2 here. I believe that's the right combination. We'll find out. 5 divided by 8 equals, and it gives you an answer of 0.625. I rather have it this way because it gives me an answer. Some teachers, when you're in an algebra class, they want you to keep it in fraction form. In this case, you might be able to go back and forth by pressing this button, the S and the D. Let's see, it does. Certain numbers, you'll be able to change them into decimal. Okay, let's do exponents. 3 squared, right? That's going to give you 9. 3, and then squared, you can put this one right here. Gives you 9. Don't forget, but negative 3 squared is going to give you negative 9. So you got to put the negative first, and then the 3, and then you square it, and that gives you negative 9. Another way you can do it, you can say 3 and then press this one right here, the X with a blank there, and then you can put the 2 in there, and it gives you also 9. So if you have something like 3 to the 6, right? So we go 3 to the power of 6. It's going to give you 729, which is pretty straightforward. Okay. Now, what about something like 3 to the negative 6 power, right? So here we got 3 to the power of negative 6. Gives you an answer of 1.371 times 10 to the minus 3. Okay, so it does scientific notation as well. Okay, let's say, let's say I want to do something like 1 over 3 times 2, right? I want to do this fraction. There's a fraction button that's right here. See that? So we can put 1, and then we push down here. Then 3 times 2 equals 1 over 6, right? But let's say I want to take the reciprocal, right? The reciprocal of this. And it's right here, right? And as you can see, it took the value that we had, the previous answer, and it's going to take the reciprocal of it. And we know that that's going to be 6. This reciprocal button is really, really useful. Very, very useful in certain operations. So keep that in mind. Let's say that you want to do something a little more intricate, right? Let's say you have something like this, right? 5 squared times 2, so that's 25 times 2 over 4, and that's going to give you what? 50 over 4, right? And it's going to give you some decimal answer. Let's see. So we do this button first. 5 squared, right? That looks like 5 squared times 2. Bring this down. 2 plus 2 equals, and then of course you can reduce this, 25 over 2. And because we were using this fraction function, it gave us a fraction. And if you press the S to D, you can see it gives you 12.5. All right. Now, if you're in this mode, 25 over 2, can you get the mixed number, right? And you should be able to. You see right here above S and D, right? You can see there is a mixed number and then improper fraction. So this is yellow, so let's press shift and this, and you can see that that changes to 12 and 1/2. You want to change it back, shift, and this, 25 over 2, okay? So we can see that that can go back and forth very easily. Now, let's say we get 6 divided by 9, okay? So let's do 6 divided by 9. You can see it's 0.6660 all the way up to 7, right? But if I press the S and D button, it can give me 2 divided by 3. That's true. 6 divided by 9 reduces to 2 over 3, right? 2 over 3. And I press the SD button, you can see it says 0.6 bar, which represents a whole bunch of 6s. So that's really neat. Sometimes when you have fractions like 5 over 50 and you need to reduce that, you can use this button right here, right? The fraction button here. And you go 5 and go down, 50, enter, and we'll reduce it to you, 1 over 10, right? And then you can press the ESD button to give you the decimal form of it, right? So that's useful as well to reduce fractions. Okay, let's change here. Okay, let's keep going. Let's do some square roots. Like for example, what's the square root of 136, right? So we do square root 136 equals 11.66. Sometimes you need to reduce this. Reduce it with prime factorization. You can find some prime factorization videos on this site if you like. Now we can reduce this via utilizing roots. So to get an answer where you have a square root on there, I believe it's shift and mode. Let's try that. And then number 1. And then number 1 again. So if we do the square root of 136, enter, you can see it gives me 2 the square root of 34. Okay? So it reduces it for you automatically. 3 square root of 4, if you do 3 square root of 4, right, it's going to give you 3 square root of 4 is 2, and it's going to give you 6. You see that? What about the third root, right, of 15, let's say? So we have right here, a little bit hard, but that's a 3. So we go, that's yellow, shift, and it's a third, right? We put 15 in here, and then we press enter, and we get an answer, 2.466. Okay. Let's say the fifth root of 16, right? So that one is this one right here. You can see that one has a root that's blank. So this is yellow. So shift this button here. We put the 5. Then we go down or the side. Okay, side. 16. Enter. Took a little while. 1.7411. Okay. Then how about the square root of 16 over the third root of 16, right? So this one you can use, I think you can put the square root first. Let's put the square root and then 16, and I think we can use this button. Yes. That's different, isn't it? Oh, it's good to know. 16 divided by 2, let's say, and then enter. And you can see that that's 8, square root of 8, right? That's 4 times 2. And then the square root of 4 times the square root of 2, that's 2 square root of 2. That's where the answer comes from. But that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this one. So that's good to know. I did not know. You got to press the fraction button. Then the square root, 16. Then go down. Then the third root, right? Shift this button here. And then 16. Enter. And it gives you 1.587. You could press this button here, the S and the D, to see if there is a fraction version. There isn't. It doesn't look like it. Okay. What about the absolute value? Let's say the absolute value of 3. The ABS, then negative 3 equals, and you know the answer is 3 already. One other thing too about, now that I'm thinking about it, let's say I wanted to enter 3.5 plus 2 over 5, let's say, right? So here you can see that it has a mixed number ability. So shift this button, 3, let's see, go across, 1, go down, 2, go across, plus, then the fraction button, 2, and then go down, and then 5, and then equals. And then you can see it's 39 over 10, right? And then what you can do is you can press the SD button, and it gives you 3.9. Okay. All right, let's go with 10 to the 5th power, okay? So 10 to the 5th. Let's look for the 10, right? And the blank right there. So shift, log, and we put 5, enter. It gives you 100,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. E to the 5th power. So right here where it says where the natural log is. So second natural log, right? And then we put a 5 equals 148.413. So how about 5 factorial? So here's a factorial. So press 5 and then shift, because that's in yellow. Factorial equals 120. 5%, right? We gotta look for the percent sign. Is going to be right here, the percent sign. So 5, shift, enter. And here we have 1 over 20, because when you go to shift mode, we had math IO, press 1. We have it in this, more algebraic look. more and less mathematical. Let's press 2 so that it gives me more of an answer. So 5% gives me 0.05. And if I press S and D, it does give me 1 over 20. Okay. All right. So we also have the trigonometric functions like sine, right? Now, before I do that, a lot of times you need to know if it's degrees or radians or grad. So if you go to shift mode, you go to degrees, I think gradient or something, radius, radian. So I like degrees, so I'm going to press 3. It was already in degrees. You can see right here, the letter right there. So 30 degrees, right? It'll give me an answer, 0.5, which is right. Okay. You also have your the other sine functions, sine minus 1, cosine minus 1, and tangent minus 1, the arc sines. And then you have the hyper ones here. I think it's called hyper. It's been a little while. You can erase here. Pi. Where is it? It's down here. So shift and pi, right? That's going to give you 3.1415. Okay. And of course, you can always say pi over 6, right? If you go shift pi, and then you can press this button here, right? The fraction button, and then press a 6. It gives you an answer of 0.5235. But if you press the SD button, you can see it takes you 1/6 pi. Okay, next thing, let's do logs. So the log of 100, that should be 2, right? So we press log 100, enter, 2. That's right. So the natural log of E, right, should be 1. Let's do that. So natural log, shift for the E to the 1, move it over, you close it, and it's going to give you 1. Okay. Then let's say the log of 5 to the 25th. What is that going to give you? And that should give you the same thing as the log of 25 over the log of 5. So we're going to do it 2 ways, okay? Do it this way first. So the fraction button, log of 25, right? I don't know if we need to close it. We'll find out right now. Log of 5, enter. Yeah, see, there's an error. So let's press AC. Let's do that again. So log of 25, let's close it, bring it down. Log of 5, let's close it, enter. Gives you 2. But is there a faster way of doing it? And there is. We need to find this button right here, see? We press this button. We put 5 in here, go over, press 25, and it gives you the answer of 2, the same answer. Okay, a few other little things that might help you. For example, let's say 5 times 6 plus 9 plus 5 times 6 plus 6 times 9. And let's say, oh, I don't want that 6. So you just go in front of it, press delete, and then you delete it, and you can put a 7 in there or something, and it gives you the answer. That should help. Don't forget that the negative button and the subtraction button are different. That's very important. There's other features that I'll do another video, which is the stats feature. It has some other algebraic features as well. We'll see if I do that. If you go to shift and mode, you'll see we already talked about math IO, but you can fix your numbers, put them in scientific notation, or put it normal. And you can see there, I think that's an arrow here, right? So we can press down. And you can see you can go, you can have it in mixed number form, improper fraction form. There's a stats button to put in, I think, your table in stats, or put your table in frequency mode. Okay, I'm not sure what those are, and I can't remember what continue is, but that's another video for that. Press on. Now, one thing that I do like to show, but I didn't do it at the beginning, is to reset. Now to reset, you go Shift 9, and then you can do 3 for all. Are you sure? Press equals, and it does everything. It resets. Turn it off. You got to press Shift and off. It says Casio. It's solar powered, which is nice. So that means you won't be, your battery will be charged. It's pretty straightforward calculator. Well, another thing, we might as well do this now that I'm looking at this. The power of 10, right? So 4 times 10. And it doesn't show me 8. Yeah, that looks like a weird notation actually, right? But 4 times 10 to the 8th is 4 and then 8 zeros. Okay, that's times 10. Sorry about that, I didn't see that. Other than that, you're pretty good that's a good starting point to start learning how to use this calculator. Okay, you like this calculator? Not only a calculator, but if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please give it to your teacher. And I hope you have a wonderful semester. Bye-bye.